Anyway, I digress. So how to approach what you believe. If you change your approach to your beliefs, and you may gain additional ability to create the results you choose. What? If I believe differently, I can create results that I choose? Yes, I'm saying that. If you approach your beliefs as opinions only, like, oh, this is my opinion, rather than this is the truth, you can develop an added flexibility to your life that can create possibility. Right? And so the flexibility will enable you to create more of the results that you desire with less effort. Isn't that fabulous? So, question, if you're like, oh, I can't walk or I'm going to limp for the rest of my life, which I was told by my doctor, then I was like, no, that's not me. I'm not going to be limping for the rest of my life. I'm going to walk. I'm going to run. I'm going to do all the things. And so my belief of what my capabilities and my ability was stronger than what the doctors could prime me and and unfortunately that's what a lot of doctors do. They have to cover their butts, like give you a limiting belief, when no, they should be like, you can do it, you can like heal, you can go this, but they have the litigation, all of that stops them from being able to really empower you. So they disempower you instead. Yet another thing that we cover, but that's a whole nother thing, right? So your present situation is partially created by the beliefs you have held, right? So whatever beliefs you've held has got you to where you are right now today, right? And then your future is being created by the beliefs you hold now. So whatever your beliefs you've had to this point have gotten you here, if you shift your belief or you get flexible in your opinions, that's going to shift your future to what you want to create. It's that simple. But yes, you have to create the right environment for you to do that. So here is the different magnitudes of the suggestion of the subconscious. Number 1, thoughts, which is an idea. An idea, right? It's not very strong. It's like a thought. It's that concept. Okay, cool. And then there's ideas, a little stronger than a thought. So it's like, okay, I have a thought. And then, I have an idea. Oh yeah, that's a cool idea, right? And then beliefs, which is a very strong idea. And it is just an idea, a belief, even, and I know this will be triggering, but religion is a belief. And that is just a code of ethics that you want to live by. It's a belief, and that comes from an idea that, So, and then conviction is a very strong belief. So it's like, this is my truth, and this is how I will walk life, right? And then an assumption is like, oh, it's just assumed to be true. That you assume. And assumption makes an ass. No, assume makes an ass out of you and me, right? So if we just assume things to be true, it's based on our beliefs. It's not necessarily like what I believe is not necessarily what probably we have pretty similar beliefs. That's not a great example, but
there's still, because you're from Australia and I'm from Canada, even the way we interpret language is if you think exactly the same way, but if you really get to the details of it, our beliefs would vary here and vary there based on culture and masculine and feminine. And I want, like, a really obvious one is let's look at Christianity and the Muslim religion, right? Let's look at those religions. I love this example of, like, you're sitting at a wedding, you're at, because you're always sitting with strangers at weddings, and you have the most vivid, extraordinary conversation with the lady next to you, and you're just think, oh my gosh, this person is the most amazing person I've ever met. They're lighting me up with, with the way they are, their way of being. And then you're an avid Christian, and you find out that they are deep into the Muslim faith. Your opinion of them will suddenly shift because you don't understand their beliefs. It doesn't make sense to you that they believe that when you're so strong in your conviction of your belief of Christianity. And that creates separation. Right.
Rather than the moment before when you're like, oh, this person is lighting up something in my soul. Oh, they believe that, and terrorism and blah, 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 blah. Disconnect. So I want you to like entertain the fact that beliefs can pull people together if they believe the same thing you do, or separate you if they don't. Now, another wonderful example of this is what we've just come through with COVID, and family members stopping talking to each other, whether they were a part of the let's get vaccinated or let's not get vaccinated tribe. And that's,
or the Trump tribe or the not Trump tribe, or like the left and the right. They're people still aren't talking to some of their family because they disagree on some lies they were fed on the news.
Yeah, and these are just beliefs. They're not true. They're just whatever.
Their perspective.
Yeah, whatever environment you've grown up in and whatever seems to ring true for you becomes a belief.
Yeah.
And if someone touts something that you think resonates with you, suddenly it's the truth. And it just simply ain't so. Like nothing, like everything, every truth can be challenged, because it's like, from what perspective? And the way we live now will be completely different in 40 years' time. The truths now won't be the truths then. Just like the truths back in the 40s and 20s, they were different to the truths now, right?
Yeah.
We keep adjusting and shifting and changing as our culture shifts and our beliefs shifts. So everything is movable, and if you stay fluid and movable, your life will start rewarding you. If you stay fixed and stuck, you will suffer.
That's right.
You will be in pain, and you will separate from those you love. And that is the truth of it, unless they hold true to exactly what you believe. That's
when your identity or your beliefs become your identity, and then you become in this fixed little group of us against them. And I love that question, where is the power in your life?
Yes.
And this health summit, this wellness summit Kate and I are doing for 6 weeks is the Power to Change Summit. And today we're talking about sabotage and the upper limit problem. And Kate and I do have a year-long program that we take people on. It's weekly coaching. You get 2 blood tests throughout the year with 108 biomarkers, and it's analyzed
with the top functional medicine team in America right now.
And 5 detoxes and a bunch of care packages from us, plus just a very curated path for you to basically, it's a year of prevention and giving you the power to change so that you will get 10, 20 years of health span at the end of your life. And that's why we're actually doing this this wellness summit, is to introduce people to us, to give you guys some takeaways, things you can use. And if you're at a point in your life, though, where you've tried everything and you just feel stuck and you need some community, if you feel alone, if you feel confused because health and wellness information seems to change every single freaking day, we've done the work for you, and we're in this really powerful groove with our clients, and we've been at this for 5 years. And this is an online journey that we're taking people on, and you'll have an opportunity.
And it's very done for you. Everything comes to your home. Done for you in terms of everything comes to your home.
You got work to do, though.
But you need to commit to yourself in this profound way.
Yeah.
And it's going to turn a lot of things on your head that maybe you thought were normal, but you will have a blueprint for health, for your life forever after 1 year.
That's right.
And so
you won't be just dissuaded by the news or by a doctor or by a relative saying, why are you doing that? You'll be like, because I've spent a year and I have an inner guidance system. And you will become wise and intuitive when somebody throws information at you. You'll be like, well, let me just check that against what I've been living and experiencing.
And curiosity and wonder is such a missing trait.
It's true.
In society these days. Everyone's cynical and
they stuck in the knowing, not the learning.
Let's be in the wonder. When you see, we have a 2-year-old, and his wonder of everything and life just creates so much joy. So it's like to live in joy like that, and to live in wonder and discovery and curiosity is just why would we lose that? Why get old and cynical and stuck? Why? You don't have to. And you'll see, when we look at older people that are just vibrant and salsa dancing or still doing yoga in their 90s, or there's this amazing woman that's a gymnast and she's over, like, she was 97 or something, and the things she can do is just next level.
It's parallel bars.
And it's like and everyone can have that. Everyone, without fail. Now, if you've gotten yourself into a really chronic stage of disease and pain and suffering, it's going to take some time to reverse it all, but everything is reversible. But the time to start is immediately. You don't wait until suddenly the doctor says you've got 2 months to live to then do it. You got to go for it now. And so we're disruptors of that paradigm and that story, and we're giving people the power back in their lives to really own their health, to really own their power and their mind.
So you're going to get an opportunity to work with us, so you don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
Whenever you're watching this, there'll be a link down below that you can hop on. There's actually we have 3 gifts to give you, so it depends what your biggest need is, whether it's you're concerned about aging in a way that doesn't hurt, or you want to melt fat off your body, or you're stuck in your relationships and you want to restore love. We have 3 gifts we want to give you, and you can actually choose. And then once you get to know us and you look there, or if you know right now, you can just book a call, and we have a team that's actually waiting to talk to you to see
exactly what your story is, what you want to create, where you want to go,
what's your dream?
What's in your way? Like, what are the sabotages or the blockages in your way? So, and then from there you'll get a strategy session, a free strategy session with either Paul or myself to really look at what you can do, and from there you can choose to come with us or not.
And we will give you definite things you can take action on, and you'll be able to make a strong choice whether to work with us or not. It's not a high pressure sales thing. It is like, where are you at? Where do you want to get? And can we help you get there?
And will your belief or your sabotage stop you from being curious about what it looks like to age beautifully, to have, like, to release 50, 60, 70 pounds, to have
20 pounds is our most that someone's released.
Yeah, we have 120 pounds. We've reversed diabetes, reversed kidney disease, gout,
eczema,
just it's countless the amount of miracles,
cracked heels.
Amount of miracles that
Celery juice,
can be created when you are in an environment that supports your health and your life. So
let's do it. Let's crack into this training now.
So okay. Why don't you jump into?
I would like to.
Yes.
Okay. This is a really exciting piece to our journey, which is helping people identify their upper limit problem. And we have to give credit where it's due. Gay Hendricks wrote this amazing book called The Big Leap,
which everyone should read. That's action 1
from this
is read that book, The Big Leap, so you truly understand how to navigate your upper limit. Because most people be like, I don't have one. I want all the things.
Well, it's a blind spot. You can't see it. Really. Yeah. It's tricky. It's hard to identify these things sometimes because they've been there since you were little, and it's become sometimes in some cases your identity. So okay, here we go. Are you ready for this? Get a pen, get a pencil or a piece of paper, and
or type on your notes.
Turn off your phone. So the upper limit problem is an idea from Gay Hendricks that you have a subconscious ceiling to your happiness or to your success of where, and it's when you reach this limit, you self-sabotage and return to a more comfortable level. So there's 4 main zones. Do you want to crack into this real quick? This, I can just tap on them. You have your zone of incompetence, you have a zone of competence, you have a zone of excellence, and you have a zone of genius.
I think you should go into those.
Yeah? Okay, no problem. So your zone of incompetence is engaging in tasks that others could do better. Your zone of competence is doing what you can do adequately, but others could do it just as well. You have a zone of excellence, and this is a place where a lot of people get stuck and stay in their zone of excellence.
A lot of people live in their zone of competence.
They do.
And then they always feel like a little bit second-class citizen, or just not valued, not seen for who they are, not appreciated, not loved in the way they want to be loved. So a lot of people live in that zone. So I want you to think about, if you experience any of those that I just listed, that you're probably living in your zone of competence rather than your zone of excellence. Break it down. What is the zone of excellence?
But people also get stuck in the zone of excellence, thinking that they're there and they've arrived. And the zone of excellence is where you're performing activities you do really, really well, and you make a good living from it. So a lot of people get there and they're like, well, I'm there. I'm in my zone of excellence. And Gay Hendricks helps. He really shows you that there's another place that you can get to, which is your zone of genius.
Ooh, the juicy part.
And this is where a lot of people don't even realize that this is available to them in their life, the zone of genius. It's the set of activities that they're uniquely suited to you, that draw upon your special gifts and your strength, and no one else can do them. And to go ahead.
I just want to, like, one of my very favorite quotes from Albert Einstein is, if you continue to judge a fish by how it climbs a tree, it will forever feel like it is stupid. Now, right. It's probably not exactly the quote, but it's somewhere like that.
You're close.
And it's such a beautiful visual, because it's like, fishes belong in the sea, right? Doing their thing. But if you keep saying, climb a tree, and we do this with children these days, especially little boys, they want to be active and they want to run and they want to touch things and climb trees and do all these things. And we sit them down and say, no, you must learn arithmetic and this and this and this.
In this order, how I think you should do.
And it's like, and then if they're disruptive, then we put them on medication, ADD pills and stuff. And it's like, no, they need to be active. They need to be moving their bodies. They need to express in a different way. They will learn better that way. Go have them count the amount of ants climbing underneath the log or something, and then their arithmetic will come through. We're just doing a disservice to so many children, because we're forcing them that this is the belief and the identity of what it is to be smart. But look at all of the people that created these extraordinary huge companies, like I think, did Bill Gates drop out? And I know Steve Jobs dropped out. All of these huge entrepreneurs dropped out because it didn't suit.
I think Bill Gates might have gone to college.
He might have gone through, but it didn't suit how they did things. And then they went on to be geniuses and in their zone of genius, because they refused to conform to how they were supposed to do it. So you have to break a few rules of what the society's expectation of who you're supposed to be. And there's people that have done the most obscure careers. I'm trying to think of one. But it's you would never make money from that. But because that's their zone of genius.
I mean, even Jeff Bezos selling books online, turning it into now how everybody gets everything. Yeah. When he started off, it was just, he was trying to sell some books. But here's how people get... There's some ways to move into your zone of genius. One is by overcoming false beliefs.
Which is what we were just talking about.
False fears and false beliefs. Mm-hmm. And also the importance of understanding time management and focusing on what brings you true fulfillment and true joy. Mm-hmm. So the ultimate goal of all of us is to break free out of our move from to break through the upper limit and live in your zone of genius, achieving lasting happiness and success. So there's a technique that you can do to this is probably what the juicy part, this is what you want to know. How do I raise?
Who do I do?
Is there a technique for me to raise? And if you read the book, you will get some of these goodies. If you work with us, we'll give you
lots of that. We'll create the environment for you to tap into your zone of genius.
And the support. Because this upper limit problem is one of the levers that does make a big difference, and it's not the be all end all, but it's a biggie.
Yeah, and I just want to say something about that. So many of us live in that zone of competence or the zone of excellence, one of those two zones, and especially if you're in the zone of competence, you will constantly feel stupid, not good enough, and hopeless, right? And so when you're in that, people start to if you believe that, people will start treating you. We train people how to treat us, even though it's just another subconscious thing. So that's another thing we work on. But if you do not, sometimes all people need is someone to cheer them on and to see them for their gifts, for their talents. Sometimes the gifts and the talents you have are not present to you, but totally present to someone else. And that's where my sixth sense comes in, is what I truly see in people is their greatness, always. And so it actually hurts me if anyone's in my field that's choosing to live in pain when I know what their greatness is. So that's a whole thing. So I fight for people, but people have to learn how to fight for themselves. But sometimes all it takes is someone to see you and love you and celebrate you and cheer you on, to have you step into that zone, and discover your zone of genius. So that's a beautiful way to create an environment. So if you're not in that environment, you need to find that environment where, which someone's on the sidelines cheering you on, like, a parent would at a kid's game, as long as you had that kind of parent.
Yeah. And
Some
one
of
of
us
the
did not.
keys to longevity is community.
Yeah.
It's actually the biggest lever for living a long life, is having a good structured community and something to live for and wake up for that's bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
So here's the technique. To metaphorically raise the thermostat of how good you're willing to have it, or allow your life, really, how good you're willing to allow it. And so there's a few steps here. So you identify your upper limit behavior. The first step is to become aware of the behaviors, your thoughts, your feelings that signify that you're hitting your upper limit. This could be anxiety, blame, criticism, deflecting compliments, or even creating drama in otherwise happy or successful situations, which is what Kate was talking about. So the step 2 is to understand your false beliefs. Your upper limit problems, they're often rooted in false beliefs, which is what Kate was talking about. And about not just ourselves, but also our worthiness. These beliefs might include things like, I don't deserve success. If I'm successful, people will not like me. And they identify these, and then you have to identify these, because like sometimes, another one is, I can't earn more money than my father. Or I can't be happy because my mother's depressed. Like there's these false beliefs, right? So step 3 is reprogramming your thoughts. And there's many ways to do that. That's why NLP, which is neuro-linguistic program, Kate, the field she operates in, and we do a lot of work with your subconscious mind in our
It's all subconscious.
Yeah.
And rewiring neural pathways so that something that you're wired to go down will then shift. But it's gaining power over something that might have had you lose power in your past. That's right.
So reprogramming your thoughts, once you've identified the beliefs and the behaviors, the next step is to reprogram your thinking. And this involves challenging and replacing your negative beliefs with positive affirmations. For example, if your limiting belief is that success will lead to rejection, you can replace it with, like, my success brings me more opportunities, positive growth, and relationships into my life. So it's taking the lie that's looping in our heads and switching it to what the actual truth is. It's like, if sometimes, like, I'm not good enough, like the thought is I'm way more than enough. Like my life is value. Like finding the truth and making that your mantra or your motto.
And something that's in our program as well, which I think is one of the most crucial parts, is I have meditations, neuro-linguistic programming meditations, that is literally priming your brain to what you're wanting to create for your life. Because navigating the subconscious and trying to like grit it out and force it is tough. If you imagine a boat on the ocean, sailing. So when it's beautiful, clear skies, you get to sail exactly where you want to go. But you throw in a crazy storm and huge tidal waves. Do you think you're going to be on course? No. But that's life. We're going to be constantly thrown. Tidal waves, rocky shores, this whole thing. We think that life should be smooth sailing. It's not. It's never going to be. We're all going to die. That's the truth. We're going to lose everybody we love, whether we die first or they die. That's just what's happening, right? So pain is inevitable and rocky the storm is inevitable. It's what you do within the storm, how you, what you believe to be true, how you grab for the lesson or get swallowed by being a victim. This is how you navigate all of that. So
step 4.
Yes.
Setting new limits, gradually pushing your comfort zone. This can be done by imagining yourself enjoying greater success, so like getting into the feeling of enjoying greater success and happiness, and notice all those feelings that come up as you're imagining yourself enjoying. This is how you push your comfort zone. Practice feeling comfortable and at ease with this new level of success and joy. So you actually have to feel it. Get into that space.
And that's what these meditations do in the program, is get you into the space constantly throughout your day, so that you are really you energetically will gravitate towards what you want, rather than if you have a negative self-talk and you beat yourself up and you're mean to yourself, you're going to gravitate to things that don't serve you and that are not good for you, right?
That's right. So step 5 is mindfulness and self-awareness. So regular practices of meditations, like Kate has 3 of them a day you can do. They're about 5 minutes, and they just keep you in that vision of what you're creating.
Breath work, yoga, taking walks, all of these things are being mindful. So, stopping the crazy hustle bustle to be in self-reflection and have a moment of stillness is essential to reduce your stresses, so that you're not creating disease in your body.
And it not only reduces your stress, but it helps you become present, so you can recognize when you're hitting your upper limit and allow you to consciously choose something different. So if you're just in the reaction of your day and reacting to everybody else's demand, or busy doing, you're unconscious. Taking little breaks to meditate or to take walks or to do some breath work will just allow you to maybe slow down enough to recognize when you're bumping up against your upper limit, and you're then able to choose differently. But it's impossible to choose differently when you can't tell the forest from the trees. Number 6, continue your commitment to continuous growth. And one of Tony Robbins' things is, every day in every way I'm getting stronger and stronger. Yes. So when you do your hour of power with Tony, you have this walk and you're like, every day in every way I'm getting more and more healthy. Yes. So you create these things. Every day in every way I'm getting more and more attracted to my wife, right? So you create the world you want with your continuous...
Funny he has to say every day.
Yeah. Look at you. Look at you, Foxy. So this way you're committed to pushing your limits just a little bit farther each time. It's about expanding your comfort zone consistently and incrementally. So number 7 is seek support. Now this is where we come in. We're your support.
Yeah.
We're your support vehicle to help you get to that old age.
So a mentor, a therapist, a coach, like a community.
Yeah.
People that build you up and lift you up and keep you on the path is what you need. And most people don't have that. Most people don't know how to create that. So this is where we saw the need, and we're filling it, and we're creating an amazing community of just extraordinary people. And the people in our program of, the ones that began at the beginning of only 2 months into this particular one, and what has happened for them is staggering. One of them, $50,000, came into her life. Another one, is a bit nonstop people saying, "What are you doing? What's going on? You look better and happier than I've ever seen you in your life." And she actually said, "I've never been this happy."
Most are reducing dress sizes dramatically.
Yeah.
We like to focus on measurements rather than, because you can go to the toilet and lose a pound of water. Like, it's the scale is the last place you should work.
No.
Look, how do you feel? How do you look? How do you feel in your clothes?
How do your clothes fit you?
Yeah.
And then they're suddenly trying on, they're like, these pants don't fit. Try it on the next size down. Boom.
They fit.
They just suddenly a size down. And we haven't even started on the big detoxes and stuff yet. They're coming in January. So, just amazing. The results already coming up.
So we've gone longer than I expected.
Oh my goodness,
We're
have
at
we?
51 minutes.
Oh, we get so excited. This is like such juicy work.
This really lights us up. So if you are watching this later, We have a nice group of you here live with us. But if you're watching this later, there'll be a link below that you can choose your adventure and get a gift from us, and follow and find out a little bit more about where you're at. And like I said, my reason for getting involved was my dad, and he developed ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and passed from it about 10 years ago. It was pretty quick, but along that way, it really woke me up to looking at why is everybody getting cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, ALS, and that's 10 years ago. Now those numbers are through the roof. And so we're on such a deep discovery to make sure that I don't want other people to lose their parents the way that I did, or to have their parents forget their names. And there's something that can be done.
And so many people just believe that they're going to be like in a home, like sitting on around watching TV, like numb. No, that's not the life you want to create. Like, nobody should be that. And like we're disconnected from our elders, and they're so full of wisdom. And we need to bring everything back together, bring family back together, bring lives back together. So it's all possible, and it all starts with you and your beliefs. If we all believe that we can age gloriously, like they do, in Italy, all those blue zones. Watch the blue zones. It's a wonderful study on, hey, if they can do it, anyone can do it. And most of it is community.
It's all community.
But a lot of it is like how active you are.
And the amount of veggies.
What amount of food you're eating, and how much walking you're doing.
That's right.
Getting up and down off the floor. Like, stop believing you're old and can't do something. You can reverse it.
Yeah, one of our clients could barely walk to the mailbox 2 months ago, and now she's doing 3 miles a day. And just, her whole world has changed because this belief came up in her, and her identity is shifting of someone that just sit there and watch TV to somebody who can take action. And when you take action, you start to build momentum, and then confidence comes, and then inspiration comes. You do not wait to be inspired.
And you do not wait until you get a scary diagnosis or prognosis from your doctor either. You take action today. Read this book. Take on these things.
Click on the link and click on the link. Get into our family. You'll get our newsletters. You'll get a phone call from one of our team, especially if you go through there, and we will help you come up with solutions. Whether you choose to work with us in the future or not. We'll give you some things to take with you that will make a massive difference, like this tool here about your upper limit. Thank you.
And just so you know, we will be live every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific. For the next 5 weeks. We're giving a different. You can look.
What's next week? Do you want to share what next week is?
We can. Oh, I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
There's a web page. Actually, if you click on this web page, the Power to Change right there, or the one below, if you're watching this in the replay, you will see each week what we're sharing about. So come and join us. We would love to give you so many things that you can take away and put into your life immediately. We're passionate about changing the world, changing the health of the world, changing people's minds to believe that their body can heal, they can heal relationships, that they can have the life that they desire. It is all within your beliefs. So
it is. And what we majorly focus on is self-love.
Oh, New Year's resolution next week. Woo, don't miss that one. We're gonna teach you how to make them stick.
Yeah, and why they don't. And so the glue here that pulls us together is love. So we approach all of this with tenderness and compassion. You don't beat yourself up into submission to change. And this is about the power to change. And a really beautiful way for you to change is when you start to nurture yourself and love yourself and stop beating the tar out of yourself in your mind, your body goes out of fight or flight and it moves into rest and digest. That's why I have everyone take baths, the Epsom salt baths. And once you relax into rest and digest, your body releases weight, releases inflammation, and you can really then change from a place of compassion and love and power rather than fear, guilt, shame. And that is powerful.
Amen.
So we'll see you soon. We can't wait to meet you. And if you go through the journey, just know you'll probably get a call from one of our beautiful team.
And they will be there as an ear to understand where you're at. Like what
you
you're dealing with. What do you want to create? What's in your way? All of these things, which is a beautiful conversation to have.
Yeah.
So.
And if you want to get exactly what you've got in your life, just keep doing what you've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want something different, then take a big leap.
Take a leap.
All right.
Be uncomfortable. One thing we love saying is choose your heart, right? So it might be a leap or scary to share your story or get on a phone call and tell what's really in your way or really discuss what's in your way. But is like that uncomfortable feeling is going to be nothing compared to continuing your life in a path that doesn't serve you, that has you living in your zone of competence, or that you don't get to live fully, love fully, laugh fully, like have all the joy, the wonder, the curiosity. That's what life is. So if your life isn't that, let's look at it. Let's like take some actions. Read this book. Like we have a membership program as well that you can, like, there's so many things. We're passionate about helping the planet heal. So come into our orbit. We will welcome you with open arms. Yes. We will be your cheerleaders if you join us, and we love you. You have the power to do whatever it is that you choose to do. You know, if Mozart can be as prolific as he is, it Mozart or Beethoven? Which one?
Mozart was deaf.
If like anything is possible. He didn't believe that he couldn't be who he wanted to be. He just did it because he was in his zone of genius. So let's get you in your zone of genius. Everything is possible from that place. All right.
We'll see you soon.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.